All right, so first, when you guys, any chance you're gonna have saving these half volleys or dipping shots is you gotta recognize when they're gonna happen. So when you start to see a ball bouncing and someone's about to tee up for a shot, or maybe a cross is coming in, you're not gonna come out and claim it. You wanna drop back to your line right away, because on these dipping shots, it's very easy for them to get it over the top of your head and in. So if you just decide to stay set, maybe if a ball is on the ground, 20 yards out, I would still feel comfortable being set around here. But once that ball is bouncing, it's so easy just to dip it over my head and in. So you want to drop back, give yourself a little more reaction time, and this way you can catch the ball on the way back down instead of just watching it go over your head. So now you're back on your line. You guys are ready for these shots that are gonna be coming in, possibly some dip. There's a chance if they hit them cleanly, it's just gonna be a laser. They're not too difficult to see the flight of the ball that way, so just be ready to save it as you normally are. Normal ready position, body weight forward, hands forward, on your toes, so you can easily move laterally either way. And you guys also wanna make sure that you want to recognize that when the shot's dipping, you don't want to just assume that it's going to go over your post. So if I see a shot, it looks like it's going to go high, I'm not just going to stand here and just assume, oh, it's going high. You want to move your feet, get under the ball, and at least cover with your hand where it would go in if it drops enough. And then if it goes over, that's fine, you don't touch it, but you always want to make sure that you're covering the save. You never want to get stuck just watching a ball going into your net without moving. You're gonna look like an idiot. Your coach, your teammates is not gonna be happy. Nobody watching is gonna be happy. It's just not gonna be a good look. So now that you guys are back on your line, striker's about to make contact with the ball. Unfortunately for us, field players aren't very good at anything they do. They're not gonna be smacking most of these side nets, upper 90, nothing like that. If you're even fortunate enough to make contact and put this on frame, most of the times the ball is gonna be just coming in right into your body, which still can be somewhat difficult to deal with this. And normally the best way to handle it is kind of a mix of a technique between the front smother and the basket catch. So the most important part is that you guys want to get your whole body behind the ball. If the ball is staggered off to your left a little bit, you want to be shuffling across, getting your body square with the ball. And then once you get to this point, you will also want to be used to reading the skip of the ball. So be prepared for it to skip back up. If the turf is wet, like it is today, because we're in England and apparently the sun doesn't exist out here, it's going to skip really fast. So that's something you guys got to be prepared for. And once the ball comes in, you're going to want to step into it almost like a front smother, but then you're going to have your hands a little bit off the ground because this ball is going to be skipping back up. And once you're making contact, your knees also becoming tucked in. If it slips through your hands, you're going to want your knees start to get tucked in as well so that it will hit this instead of going right through the goal. And once you get that point, then the next important part is you're going to make contact with your hands on it, and you want your chest coming all the way over the ball. So right when you're making contact with it, the main goal is to squeeze the ball between your palms, back into your forearms, and your chest. If you guys have your chest square open and you're trying to handle these surfaces right here, it's just gonna hit your chest, bounce straight out, and it's gonna lead to really dangerous rebounds, pretty much coming right back to the striker who just hit it. So there are gonna be times where you guys don't have enough time to get your body behind the ball for this front smother, basket catch, take, and you're gonna have to leave your feet and dive. And the most important thing when you do this is obviously all the normal diving techniques, diving forward, big explosive off your plant leg, but you wanna make sure that you're getting two hands to the ball when possible, because it's gonna be a little harder to read the skip. And if you have two hands instead of one, it's gonna give you a better chance to make the save. It's gonna make it possible to hold the ball because you get one hand behind, one hand on top. And if you decide to parry it, you're gonna be able to get more power and a better direction, being able to aim your parry better if you guys have two hands pushing wide instead of just one. So there are times when you guys can be caught out of position too high off your line when someone's about to hit one of these dipping shots. And when that happens, the first thing you want to do is right when they're making contact is you guys need to get set. You just need to get set. Even if you're out of position, it's better to be set than just trying to move to where you think the perfect position is, because if you're set, at least you're going to have a chance to react to make the save. And so once you're set in this position and you see the ball starting to dip over you, the most important thing is to, one, you want to pick out what side the ball is going to. So if the ball is going to my left here, my first step back is going to be a drop step with my left leg, and then say it's going to the right, it's gonna be a drop back with my right leg. So for this one, we'll just simulate if it's coming to my left. So it's gonna be a drop step back will be your first move, and then it's gonna be a crossover step right here. And you wanna do the crossover instead of shuffling because you can cover a lot more ground a lot quicker. So once you do the crossover, you're gonna be back on your left leg right here, and this is where you're gonna be pushing off of the ground. You're gonna use your top hand to push the ball over, because if you guys go bottom hand, there's a very good chance you just hit the ball back into the bottom of your crossbar, back into the goal. So if you get your top hand over and you just barely need to push the ball over, just let the ball use its own momentum over the goal. You just need the slightest touch to be putting these over the crossbar. All right, that's the video, guys. I wasn't gonna spend any more time that I didn't need to in England's weather out there, so I came back to sunny Croatia to do this outro. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, GK Goluremi. Go to goaluremi.com. Bunch of goalkeeping equipment and gloves you guys can buy there. Help support the channel. Till next time, peace.